Elon Musk has been a dedicated supporter of the Trump administration since he joined the president's campaign in 2024. As a reward for his fierce support, Trump put Musk at the helm of affairs in the Department of Government Efficiency. However, Musk is not just concerned with improving federal bureaucracy efficiency, as he has made a move that may ignite an all-out war with the cartels. What has the controversial Musk done, and how will it influence Trump's ability to tackle the drug and cartel crisis in the United States? The shocking revelation. In a country where power dynamics are constantly shifting, a new chapter unfolds as Elon Musk, the newly appointed head of the Department of Government Efficiency, takes a bold stance against the notorious Mexican cartels. This unexpected development comes at a time when President Donald Trump is preparing for a potential war against these criminal organizations. Shortly after his appointment, Musk made a bold recommendation on the best way to handle cartels. Replying to a post on X, Musk said he didn't believe it would be possible to defeat cartels without employing the services of U.S. Special Forces. The recommendation is fraught with significant implications. Historically, the involvement of U.S. military forces in foreign territories has been a contentious issue, often leading to complex geopolitical ramifications. The suggestion to use special forces in Mexico to dismantle the cartels raises questions about sovereignty, international relations, and the potential for escalation. The deployment of U.S. Special Forces would represent a dramatic escalation in the fight against the cartels, signaling a shift from traditional law enforcement methods to military intervention. This approach could potentially disrupt cartel operations more effectively, given the specialized training and capabilities of these elite units. However, it also risks straining diplomatic relations between the United States and Mexico, as military action on foreign soil is a sensitive matter that requires careful negotiation and agreement. Historically, U.S. military involvement in foreign drug wars has been limited, with efforts primarily focused on providing training and support to local forces. The prospect of direct military action in Mexico is unprecedented and could set a new precedent for how the U.S. addresses transnational criminal organizations. Critics argue that such a move could lead to unintended consequences, including civilian casualties and increased violence, while proponents believe it could deliver a decisive blow to the cartel's power structures. As Minister of Efficiency, Musk is tasked with optimizing governmental operations and tackling inefficiencies. His appointment comes at a time when the fight against the cartels is intensifying, and his unique perspective could bring fresh solutions to this complex issue. Musk made his comment after the Mexican government made the largest fentanyl drug bust in history. This significant operation resulted in the seizure of vast quantities of the deadly synthetic opioid, a substance that has fueled the opioid crisis in the United States and beyond. The bust is a reflection to the Mexican authorities' intensified efforts to combat the powerful cartels that have long plagued the nation. It came after the Mexican government received pressure from Trump. It is within this context that Elon Musk's bold stance gains relevance. He views the drug bust as a catalyst for further, more aggressive measures to eradicate the cartel influence. In Trump's new administration, the threat of imposing tariffs on Mexican exports emerged as a strategic tool to exert economic pressure on Mexico in the fight against cartels. This approach was rooted in the belief that Mexico's perceived compliance or inability to effectively combat cartel operations warranted a strong response. By threatening a 25% tariff on exports, Trump aimed to compel the Mexican government to take more decisive action against these powerful criminal organizations. The use of economic pressure as a tactic fits into a broader strategy that seeks to leverage economic incentives and penalties to influence foreign policy outcomes. In this context, the threat of tariffs served as a catalyst for Mexico to intensify its crackdown on cartel activities. The Trump effect, as it came to be known, highlighted the administration's willingness to use economic tools to address security concerns, a departure from traditional diplomacy. The strategy was not without controversy, as critics argued that it risked damaging bilateral relations and could have unintended economic consequences for both countries. Despite these concerns, the threat of tariffs appeared to have an impact, as evidenced by the Mexican government's subsequent actions, including the large fentanyl drug bust. Elon Musk's belief in military action on Mexican soil represents both an alignment with and a divergence from Trump's methods. Like Trump, Musk advocates advocates for decisive and impactful measures to dismantle the cartels. However, while Trump primarily focused on economic tactics, Musk's recommendation to deploy U.S. Special Forces suggests a more direct and forceful approach. This divergence highlights Musk's inclination towards bold, immediate action, reflecting his background in innovation and efficiency. The aftermath of Elon Musk's comments advocating for the use of the U.S. Special Forces against the Mexican cartels have been rather dramatic. Shortly after Musk's statement, President Donald Trump took decisive action by ordering the deployment of additional active troops to secure the Mexican border. The decision to send more troops to the border was seen as a preemptive measure to bolster security and prevent any potential spillover of cartel violence into the United States. It also served as a signal of the U.S. government's commitment to addressing the cartel threat with increased urgency. The presence of additional military personnel at the border was intended to deter cartel activities and enhance surveillance capabilities, reinforcing the message that the U.S. was prepared to take robust action. Musk's comments and the subsequent troop deployment sparked widespread debate about the implications of such military involvement. Supporters argued that a strong military presence was necessary to combat the sophisticated and well-armed cartels, while critics warned of the risks associated with militarizing the border and the potential for escalating violence. The situation highlighted the delicate balance between ensuring security and maintaining diplomatic relations with Mexico. Additionally, the introduction of military forces into the equation could escalate violence, as cartels may retaliate with increased aggression. The risk of civilian casualties and collateral damage is also a significant concern, as military operations in populated areas can lead to unintended consequences. These factors must be weighed against the potential benefits of disrupting cartel activities. The possible outcomes for cartel dynamics are varied. While military action could weaken the cartels in the short term, it may also lead to power vacuums and infighting among rival factions, resulting in further instability. Alternatively, the cartels could adapt to the increased pressure by diversifying their operations or shifting their activities to other regions. The use of military force against cartels raises significant ethical considerations and has sparked diverse public opinion. The ethical debate centers around the justification of military intervention in addressing criminal activities, particularly when such actions occur on foreign soil. Proponents argue that the cartel's pervasive violence and influence necessitate a strong response, viewing military action as a means to protect citizens and restore order. However, critics caution against the potential for human rights violations, civilian casualties, and the erosion of sovereignty, emphasizing the need for solutions that prioritize justice and due process. Public opinion on this issue is divided, reflecting the complexity of the situation. Some view military intervention as a necessary step to dismantle the cartel's power and reduce the flow of drugs and violence across borders. Others fear that such actions could lead to increased militarization and exacerbate the cycle of violence, calling for alternative approaches that address the root causes of cartel influence, such as poverty and corruption. While Elon Musk's proposal for immediate military action against the cartels has garnered significant attention, it is crucial to consider long-term strategies and alternative solutions that address the root causes of cartel power. A comprehensive plan to combat these criminal organizations must integrate a multifaceted approach that goes beyond military intervention. One potential strategy involves strengthening law enforcement capabilities through training and resource allocation. By enhancing the skills and tools available to local police forces, governments can improve their ability to investigate and dismantle cartel operations effectively. This approach requires international cooperation and support, ensuring that law enforcement agencies have the necessary expertise and technology to combat sophisticated criminal networks. Economic development initiatives also play a vital role in reducing the influence of cartels. By investing in education, job creation, and infrastructure, governments can address the socioeconomic factors that drive individuals to participate in illegal activities. Providing viable economic opportunities can weaken the cartel's recruitment efforts and reduce their hold on vulnerable communities. Additionally, addressing corruption within governmental and judicial systems is essential for creating an environment where the rule of law prevails. Implementing transparency measures and accountability mechanisms can help restore public trust and ensure that justice is served. International partnerships and oversight can support these efforts, promoting good governance and reducing the cartel's ability to exploit systemic weaknesses. Alternative solutions such as drug policy reform and harm reduction strategies can also contribute to a comprehensive plan. By reevaluating drug laws and focusing on public health approaches, governments can reduce the demand for illegal substances and mitigate the social impact of drug abuse. Meanwhile, Elon Musk isn't just going after cartels. He is demanding more transparency from the United States lawmakers to improve our transparency in financial transactions and taxpayers' money. Musk set for federal overhaul on Trump's request. President Trump, known for his disdain for bureaucratic inefficiency, saw in Musk a kindred spirit capable of executing a vision of streamlined governance. The federal overhaul, initiated at Trump's request, shows the level of trust and confidence he places in Musk's capabilities. This initiative aims to address what Musk has described as a federal bureaucracy plagued by corruption and fraud. The scale of the task is immense, with nearly 10,000 federal workers allegedly laid off and projections indicating that over 200,000 could eventually lose their jobs. Musk's involvement in this overhaul is not just a reflection of his relationship with Trump, but also an extension of his broader philosophy. Known for his disdain for inefficiency and his relentless pursuit of excellence, Musk's approach to business often involves radical restructuring and a willingness to make tough decisions. This mindset aligns with the goals of the federal overhaul, which seeks to eliminate waste and corruption within the government. However, Musk's role in this initiative has not been without controversy. Critics argue that his lack of political experience and his outsider status make him ill-suited for such a complex task. Moreover, the drastic measures being implemented have sparked widespread protests and accusations of overreach. The federal overhaul, spearheaded by Elon Musk with blessings of Donald Trump, began with a bold and sweeping initiative aimed at restructuring key government departments. The departments first targeted included Interior, Energy, Veterans Affairs, and Health and Human Services. These areas were chosen based on Musk's assessment of where inefficiencies and corruption were most rampant, aligning with his vision of a streamlined and effective government. The Department of the Interior, responsible for managing the nation's natural resources and cultural heritage, was one of the first to experience significant changes. Musk's rationale for targeting this department stemmed from concerns about mismanagement and wasteful spending. By implementing stricter oversight and accountability measures, Musk aimed to ensure that the department operated with greater transparency and efficiency. Next on the list was the Department of Energy, a critical component of the nation's infrastructure and security. Musk, with his background in renewable energy through Tesla, saw an opportunity to revolutionize the department's approach to energy production and consumption. The overhaul focused on eliminating outdated practices and promoting sustainable energy solutions, reflecting Musk's commitment to combating climate change and reducing the nation's carbon footprint. The Department of Veterans Affairs, long plagued by issues of inefficiency and inadequate care for veterans, was another focal point of the overhaul. Musk's approach involved a comprehensive review of the department's operations, with the goal of improving the quality and accessibility of services for veterans. By streamlining processes and implementing innovative technologies, Musk sought to address the systemic problems that had long hindered the department's ability to fulfill its mission. Health and Human Services, a department critical to the well-being of millions of Americans, also underwent significant changes. Musk's rationale for targeting this department was rooted in concerns about fraud and abuse within the healthcare system. The overhaul aimed to enhance the department's ability to deliver essential services while reducing waste and ensuring that resources. As the overhaul progressed, the initial steps taken by Musk and his team were met with both praise and criticism. Supporters lauded the bold approach and the potential for positive change, while detractors raised concerns about the impact on federal employees and the services they provide. The prospect of over 200,000 job losses has sparked intense debate among policymakers, experts, and the public. Proponents of the overhaul argue that the reduction in workforce is a necessary step to streamline government operations and ensure that taxpayer dollars are used efficiently. They contend that a leaner government will be better equipped to respond to the needs of the public and adapt to the challenges of the 21st century. However, critics warn that the scale of the layoffs could have dire consequences for the federal government's ability to fulfill its core functions. With fewer employees, departments may struggle to maintain essential services and programs, potentially leading to disruptions that could affect millions of Americans. The loss of experienced personnel could also result in a decline in institutional knowledge, making it more difficult for departments to navigate complex issues and implement effective policies. Moreover, the potential long-term effects of the layoffs extend beyond the immediate impact on government functionality. The reduction in federal jobs could have broader economic implications, particularly in regions where government employment is a significant driver of local economies. The loss of jobs could lead to increased unemployment and reduced consumer spending, affecting businesses and communities across the country. As the overhaul continues, the nation remains divided over the merits and consequences of the initiative. Supporters argue that the short-term pain of job losses is outweighed by the long-term benefits of a more efficient and accountable government. In contrast, others warn that the scale of the layoffs could undermine the federal government's ability to serve the public and address critical challenges. Across the nation, protests have erupted, with thousands of citizens taking to the streets to voice their opposition to what they perceive as an overreach of power. The public's concerns are multifaceted, reflecting deep-seated anxieties about the implications of such a sweeping transformation of the federal government. Many protesters argue that the initiative represents a politically motivated attack on the federal workforce, designed to dismantle institutions that have long been pillars of public service. Trump, for his part, has framed the overhaul as a continuation of his efforts to drain the swamp and reduce the size and scope of the federal government. He has dismissed the protests as the work of entrenched interests resistant to change, asserting that the initiative is in the best interest of the American people. Despite the widespread protests and public outcry, the courts have thus far refrained from intervening in the overhaul process. This lack of judicial intervention has been a point of contention, with many questioning why the courts have not stepped in to halt what some perceive as an overreach of executive power. The legal framework surrounding the federal overhaul is complex, rooted in the executive branch's authority to reorganize and manage the federal bureaucracy at will. Historically, the executive branch has been granted significant discretion in matters of administrative restructuring, provided that such actions do not violate existing laws or constitutional principles. One of the primary reasons the courts have not intervened is the broad latitude afforded to the executive branch in matters of internal administration. The courts have traditionally been reluctant to interfere in executive decisions related to the organization and management of federal agencies, viewing such matters as falling within the influence of the executive's constitutional authority. This deference to executive discretion has been a key factor in the court's stance on the federal overhaul. Additionally, the legal challenges to the overhaul have faced significant hurdles in demonstrating that the initiative violates specific legal or constitutional provisions. While critics argue that the overhaul represents an overreach of power, the courts have not found sufficient grounds to halt the process. The lack of clear legal violations has made it difficult for opponents to mount successful legal challenges, allowing the overhaul to proceed largely uninterrupted. Trump and Musk have worked hand in hand since Musk openly declared for Trump and threw his weight behind him during the 2024 presidential elections. While both men seem like a force strong enough to make America great again, there are those who remain skeptical about this alliance. A dream team or a disaster? The advantages of an alliance between Donald Trump and Elon Musk are as vast as they are intriguing. At the forefront is the fusion of political power and technological innovation. Trump's extensive experience in the political arena, coupled with his ability to galvanize a significant portion of the American populace, provides a robust platform for Musk's groundbreaking ventures. Imagine the possibilities when Musk's vision for space, exploration, sustainable energy, and advanced transportation systems receives the backing of a U.S. president. One of the most significant advantages lies in infrastructure development. Trump's ambitious plans for revitalizing America's infrastructure could be supercharged by Musk's cutting-edge technologies. The integration of Tesla's electric vehicles and the Boring Company's tunnel systems into national infrastructure projects could revolutionize transportation, reduce carbon emissions, and create thousands of jobs. Moreover, Musk's SpaceX could benefit immensely from Trump's influence in securing government contracts and navigating the complex web of regulatory approvals. This collaboration could accelerate the timeline for human colonization of Mars, a goal Musk has long championed. In the realm of defense, Musk's advancements in artificial intelligence and autonomous systems could enhance national security initiatives. Trump's strategic acumen and Musk's technological prowess could lead to the development of cutting-edge defense systems, ensuring the United States remains at the forefront of global security. While the alliance between President Trump and Elon Musk presents numerous advantages, it also harbors potential drawbacks that could have far-reaching consequences. Both figures are known for their controversial and often polarizing decisions, which could lead to instability and unpredictability on a global scale. One of the primary concerns is the concentration of power. With Trump's political influence and Musk's technological dominance, their partnership could undermine democratic processes and erode the checks and balances that are fundamental to government operations. Critics fear that their combined clout could lead to a scenario where decisions are made by a select few, sidelining public interest and accountability. Additionally, Additionally, both Trump and Musk have a history of clashing with regulatory bodies and government institutions. Their alliance could exacerbate tensions with these entities, leading to legal battles and policy gridlocks. This could stall progress on critical initiatives and create an environment of uncertainty for businesses and investors. Their unpredictable natures also pose a risk. Both Trump and Musk have been known to make impulsive decisions that can have unintended consequences. Whether it's a tweet that sends markets into a frenzy or a bold business move that disrupts entire industries, their actions could lead to economic volatility and geopolitical tensions. Furthermore, their reported preparation for a potential conflict with Mexican cartels raises ethical and legal questions. Engaging in such a confrontation could have severe repercussions, straining international relations and potentially leading to violence and instability in the region. The influence wielded by Donald Trump and Elon Musk over their respective followers is both profound and far-reaching, shaping public opinion and driving cultural and economic trends. This influence could significantly impact their potential alliance, amplifying its effects on a global scale. Donald Trump's followers are known for their unshakable loyalty and enthusiasm. His ability to connect with a broad base of supporters stems from his straightforward communication style and his promise to prioritize American interests. Trump's rallies and social media presence have galvanized millions, creating a movement that transcends traditional political boundaries. His influence extends beyond politics, affecting consumer behavior and media narratives. Elon Musk, on the other hand, commands a following rooted in admiration for his visionary ideas and technological breakthroughs. Musk's fans, often referred to as Musketeers, are drawn to his ambitious goals, such as colonizing Mars and transitioning the world to sustainable energy. His influence is particularly strong among tech enthusiasts, investors, and young innovators who see him as a pioneer of the future. Musk's ability to sway markets with a single tweet and inspire a new generation of entrepreneurs underscores his impact on global discourse. The economic implications of a potential alliance between Donald Trump and Elon Musk are vast, with the potential to influence job creation, market stability, and international trade. Their combined efforts could reshape economic landscapes both domestically and globally. In terms of job creation, the partnership could lead to significant opportunities across various sectors. Trump's focus on revitalizing American industry aligns with Musk's ambitious projects in space exploration, electric vehicles, and renewable energy. Initiatives such as expanding Tesla's manufacturing capabilities or accelerating SpaceX's space missions could create thousands of jobs, from engineering and manufacturing to logistics and support services. Market stability is another area where their alliance could have a profound impact. Musk's ventures often drive investor interest and market fluctuations, as seen with Tesla's stock performance and cryptocurrency endorsements. Trump's influence on economic policy and regulatory frameworks could provide a stabilizing effect, ensuring that Musk's innovations are supported by favorable conditions. However, their unpredictable natures could also introduce volatility, with decisions or statements potentially causing market disruptions. International trade is a critical component of the economic implications of their alliance. Trump's trade policies have historically focused on renegotiating agreements to favor American interests, while Musk's global operations require navigating complex international markets. Together, they could advocate for trade policies that support technological advancement and innovation, potentially opening new markets for American products and services. However, their approach could also lead to tensions with other nations, particularly if perceived as protectionist or aggressive. While the public continues to speculate on the nature of Trump's alliance with Musk, both men prepare for what might be an all-out war with Mexican cartels. It all started with an executive order designating Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations. This bold move is not just a symbolic gesture, but a strategic maneuver aimed at exerting maximum pressure on Mexico to address the pervasive issue of drug cartels. By labeling these criminal organizations as terrorists, Trump has opened the door to a range of actions that could have far-reaching implications for both domestic and international policy. The executive order, signed in the Oval Office, grants the United States government enhanced powers to impose economic sanctions, restrict travel, and potentially take military action against the cartels. This designation is intended to dismantle the financial networks that support these organizations, cutting off their resources and crippling their operations. The use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act provides the legal framework for these measures, allowing the administration to target individuals and entities associated with drug trafficking. Trump's decision to designate cartels as terrorist organizations is not without precedent. During his first term as president, he attempted to impose this designation, but was ultimately dissuaded by Mexican authorities, who pledged to cooperate with the United States in combating cartels. However, However, the persistence of drug-related violence and the growing threat of synthetic drugs like fentanyl have reignited the push for more aggressive measures. The implications of this executive order are profound. By expanding the jurisdiction of prosecutors, the United States can pursue legal action against cartel members with greater flexibility and authority. This could lead to increased prosecutions and harsher penalties for those involved in drug trafficking. Additionally, the ability to impose economic sanctions provides a powerful tool for disrupting the financial operations of cartels, potentially crippling their ability to conduct business. However, the designation of cartels as terrorist organizations also carries significant risks. One of the most immediate concerns is the potential for military intervention in Mexico. While the executive order does not explicitly authorize military action, it lays the groundwork for such measures by framing cartels as a national security threat. This raises the specter of selective incursions into Mexican territory aimed at dismantling cartel operations. Such actions could severely damage the delicate binational relationship between the United States and Mexico, leading to diplomatic tensions and economic repercussions. The Mexican government, led by President Claudia Sheinbaum, has expressed concerns about the implications of this designation. Sheinbaum has emphasized the importance of a bilateral relationship based on cooperation rather than subordination, warning that the designation could fracture this relationship. Mexico is one of the largest trading partners of the United States, and any disruption in this relationship could have significant economic consequences, including the loss of millions of U.S. jobs. Critics of the executive order argue that the narrative of narco-terrorism is often used as a tool of intimidation and extortion, rather than a reflection of reality. Oswaldo Zavala, author of Drug Cartels Do Not Exist, contends that the power of the cartels is exaggerated and that the designation serves to amplify pressure and justify political violence. Thanks for watching. Check out the other cards on the screen.